city known for its incredible skyline, its nightlife and beaches, today centered around this venue, Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. Straight ahead, it's an AFC intra-conference contest between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Miami Dolphins.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Jason Sanders is out, ready to kick this one away. And here we go from Miami. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. Offense out now to get us started. It's 1st and 10. Now first carry here for Ashton Genty. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
I know these DNs love to get to the quarterback. I know that sacks many times equals a bigger payday. But doing the dirty work, playing the run well, that's what the best of the ends do in this league.
First down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10. He's going to throw this one. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. Still 10 yards to get this first down as they come to the line. Air it out on 3rd. Tries to lob that one up, and it's intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to have it. And he's going to hang on to that football. That's his first career interception.
Intercepted. The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line.
The Dolphins in pretty good field position here as they come up 1st and 10. Quick to the air as Tagovailoa taking a shot deep here. And this is going to end up incomplete. Really aired it out there on 1st down, but just couldn't make the connection. That's going to be something to watch as this game goes on, Brock. We know they like to take their shots throughout.
Yeah, and we know this league today, Kate, loves to play that umbrella coverage, right? Try to keep everything in front of them.
Yep.
The only way you're going to get behind them is to take shots like that one.
Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. He gets it complete to his man, Tyreek Hill. And they're going to stop him after he gets this to the 26. It's a 30-yard gain, Brock, so unsurprisingly, that gives him a first down.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly, you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
First carry now. This is Ollie Gordon. Down the left sideline he goes! And they take him out of bounds, which means his offense setting up for 1st and goal.
That result right there is why coaches all across all levels of football on defense talk about good, solid tackling, Kate. It's not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when you can bring a guy down, you're able to and keep them from piling on those yards.
From the red zone now. Headed out right. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal.
Turbo 3, kick. Hey, get set. Head.
Tua off the play fake. Bails out of the pocket quick. And he'll take this across. Touchdown, Miami. The Dolphins pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. So our first score of the game here as they cap off that drive with a touchdown.
It's really what you're looking for, Kate, offensively. You want to force the other guys into thinking they need to play a little catch-up right away. So a nice job to get that first score and take early control of this game.
Sanders all set to send it away. And he just sends this out and over the end zone, so no threat of a return. They're going to spot the ball up at the 35 to begin this drive. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. Rolling left, buying some time. And he'll get it up to the 44.
Kate, if you've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 100 times. Completions, completions, completions. Well, that wasn't a pass. It was a scramble. But the Nets, the same thing, keeping this offense on schedule.
Just a yard left to go on 2nd down. Here's a throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's good for Raiders first. It's like you always say, right back to work for him. Getting a drive moving like that turnover never happened.
And they weren't going to shy away from letting him do his thing, throwing the football. Mistakes happen in this league and in this game. And you never want to punish a quarterback for making a mistake. You want to see him continue to produce.
That's taken in nicely by Brock Bowers. And he nearly gets them into the red zone as he's down at the 22. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that 1st down.
If they get a handful of these types of plays per game, the pass game coordinator is going to be one happy camper.
1st down, Las Vegas.
Coming to the line for another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he's brought down after a short gain.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Shotgun give here to Genty. And this is going to get him right up near that 1st down, but he's marked short after a gain of 7, 3rd down.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
1 yard, all that's needed. This is 3rd and inches. They'll throw it. Cover man is there, and he harmlessly knocks it away. Incomplete.
You know, I say this all the time. You get down there to the red zone, and things happen so fast. Those windows close in a hurry. Quarterback's fortunate that was one hand and not 2 hands that got on the football.
Cam Smith there defensively.
4th and inches, but they're going to throw for it. It's complete. This is Bowers. And in for the touchdown. The Raiders reach pay dirt for the first time this game. Brock Bowers, the touchdown. So he looks to and finds the big fella, and his tight end takes it in for 6.
Such a reliable weapon down in the red zone. You know, kind of reminds me like a point guard making an entry pass to that post player. When you trust your big people around you, And when a quarterback trusts his tight end like that, it makes a difference.
Now after tying this game up, they're all set to send her away. Starting from the 5. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
All right, Miami has its offense set, partner. Here comes 1st and 10. On play action, here's Tagovailoa. Makes the grab in bounds, left side. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. It's a 21-yard gain, and it'll be 1st down, Miami. No doubt they'll take a repeat of how this game began, Brock, and that play has them on their way towards it.
Scripting for success. They'll keep pressing the advantage, too, until some resistance has got to finally appear.
Opening carry for Devon Achane. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. Tua setting up to throw. He brings it in. And he's not going to get the first. He made it real close, though, didn't he, Brock? It's a gain of 5, 3rd down coming up.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
3rd and just 2 to go.
All right, fellas, listen up.
Trying to pick it up here with Achane. And what a play. They never gave him a shot to get that single yard. He's going to lose some yardage. 4th down coming up.
A 3-yard loss.
If only this defense could look like that on every play, Kate. They were angry, motivated, focused, and they took that anger out on him and this offense, forcing a 4th down.
So the Dolphins readying for the punt. And he's got a good chance to really stick him deep his first time out. That's the end of one. Both teams with a little luck finding the end zone early. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. Back to Hard Rock Stadium right after this. Back for the start of quarter number 2. It's Dolphin football as we begin. Everyone's out there, so let's get things restarted. Only needed once last week in the win, and he matches that total here. And he's got this fair catch right along the 12-yard line.
Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
All right, starting in the pistol this time, Brock. 1st and 10. First play is going to be a give to Genty. And all he can do is get back to the line on that effort, so no gain on 1st down. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
Well, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him.
just kind of waiting. Right? You're just kind of trying to get a feel for which defense is going to come to life. And when you get that sack, that can go a long way to infusing some energy on that side of the ball.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. Man downfield, and Myers has it. And this winds up being an excellent play for them from deep in their own territory, up approaching that 30-yard line. So 3rd and 16, no problem for them as they get the first.
At the 26-yard line.
Batted away at the line, incomplete. He didn't put it high enough to get it over that line. 2nd down coming up.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you, you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
Still 10 to go. 2nd down now from the 26. Takes the handoff. Now to throw. They connect on the deep shot. And that is a touchdown. The Raiders take a 2nd quarter lead.
First thing you do as a quarterback, the first thing that you do when you get to the NFL level, if you haven't learned it earlier, is you scan those safeties. Do I got middle field open or close? Do I got a single eye or too high? Is that post going to be available? Because if it is, big plays can follow.
That one right down the middle. And the Raiders break that tie and now lead by 7. The Raiders kicking team is out there and they'll boot this away. Devon Achane to return it. And in the end, he's able to get it to about the 25-yard line before he's hauled down.
At their own 25-yard line.
Dolphins just about set up here. 1st and 10.
Solo left Zion.
On the give, it's Gordon. Small gain there, maybe 3 if he's lucky to begin this drive.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on 2nd.
At the 29-yard line.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7.
Solo left Zion. Solo.
Shotgun snap now to Tagovailoa. That's caught. Devon Achane. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
At the 37-yard line.
1st down, here's Tua. This is caught by Jalen Waddle. And he's going to just get this across midfield before he's taken out of bounds.
17 yards.
That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
And he'll take this across. Touchdown, Miami! The Dolphins can tie it up in the 2nd after cutting into the lead. Devon Achane with the touchdown. Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. The point after splits the uprights. And the Dolphins tie things up at 14.
The game at 14. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. And he fields this one, but is not going to return it from the end zone. So the ball going to be placed down at the 35-yard line.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10. The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own
Good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. They'll go play action. Pressure coming, and they take him down. And the drive begins with a rough first step there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
12 yards. It's 2nd down.
Back to throw. And back-to-back passes that should have been intercepted. 2 great chances to take it away. Both of them dropped, Bronk, and now they stay out there for 3rd down.
I hate to be Mr. Negative guy, but a sack 2 plays ago, an incompletion right there. All that's missing, Kate, is an interception on this play, and you're going to hand this quarterback a misfortune trifecta that nobody wants.
3rd and long for him here. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up 4th down. Now the Raiders readying for the punt, and they'll turn to former All-Pro A.J. Cole for the kick. Across the 45. And a good return as he gets him up across midfield and into enemy territory.
At the Raiders' 46-yard line.
New set of downs for him from the 46.
Ready. Ready, team.
On 1st down, here's Tagovailoa. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
They're right here. Ready, tip, out.
Throwing again here on 2nd, Tagovailoa. He throws a bullet to the center. He's got it inside the 10. And he'll take this across. Touchdown, Miami. The Dolphins just need 2 snaps to steal the lead. It's a Jalen Waddle touchdown.
I know you got to mix your looks defensively. You just can't play all zone coverage, and sometimes you got to play man-to-man. But with the receiver, with that kind of speed, that is scary, and he just made him pay.
Sanders connects on the point after. And the Dolphins break that tie and now lead by 7.
Raiders 14. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Sanders all set to send it away. And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. Back now, pressure coming. Hits his tight end on the corner route. Hits the 20. He makes it in for the touchdown. The Raiders earn the chance to tie before halftime. Brock Bowers the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game.
Daniel Carlson on quarterback.
And that right there, Brock, is a touchdown I think our fellow broadcaster Greg Olsen would be proud of. A big strike to the tight end that I don't think a lot of receivers could have pulled off and make it look as easy.
You know, a lot of times you're splitting hairs talking about the differences between tight ends and receivers at this level because a lot of those guys, they work the same route tree and they move with the football, well, just like their receiver teammates. And they can score some lengthy touchdowns too, just like he showed off.
He stopped on the run back of the 27.
Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
right, Miami has its offense set, partner. Here comes 1st and 10.
Ready. Turbo one. Ready, G. Wait there. Hey, turbo one. Turbo one.
They'll start the drive with Achan. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that 1st down play.
He was tackled at
Clock running. Dolphins will hurry to the line.
a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
They go play action with Tagovailoa. And they're going to touch him down as they wind up with a nice gain on that play, and they got a new set of downs, too.
I'll be honest with you, Kate. As you grow and develop as a quarterback, your arm gets stronger. These comebacks can be one of your favorite throws in your arsenal. Because if you trust yourself and you throw it before that defender breaks, you know there's yards to be had on the perimeter.
1st and 10 now. Here's Tagovailoa. Short pass brought in. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line. Clock running. Dolphins will hurry to the line.
That's another Dolphins 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Hey. Solo left Zion.
The address is 347 Don Shula Drive in honor of the legendary coach. The stadium is Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. Coming up, we've got a good one in store. It's the Las Vegas Raiders and the Miami Dolphins.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Mike Tirico and Greg Olson with you. Jason Sanders has us ready for the start. Off we go from Hard Rock Stadium. From the 35, it's 1st and 10. Bowers, the man in motion. On the ground, here comes Ashton Genty. Down the sideline, past the 45. The defense saves the touchdown, but a terrific run. It'll be 1st and goal inside the 10.
A gain on the play.
A huge play right off the bat. That goes for 58.
You talk about a big-time run right out of the gate. I mean, there was nothing special here play call-wise. He just found a crease, hit it, and he was off.
A run on 1st and goal. He'll be wrapped up there down at the 3-yard line.
At the 3-yard line. A 4-yard gain brings up 2nd and goal.
Here now, 2nd down and goal.
Set, go!
Genty will take this one in for a Vegas touchdown. And that is the way to start a game. Not just score, but Greg, score quickly. A nice opening drive for the first 6 points.
Well, it seems like the hour spent on that opening game script was time well spent. I mean, to take the ball right down the field that quickly, right out of the gates, that's a pretty good opening drive and an early 6 points.
Seven 0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. Devon Achane to return it. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there.
At their own 25-yard line.
He's right, start.
The lefty right to the air to start. Quick throw here is complete. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. About 15 yards to kick off the drive. It's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 40.
And this is where the speed of your inside receivers are so critical. He lines up in the right slot. But, Mike, look how far he covers to where he ended up receiving that ball. You can't have all day. Those defensive linemen, they are coming after your quarterback. So the speed in the slot is critical. That's a great example why.
Sending it deep for Waddle. That one underthrown and intercepted. Picked off by Darian Porter.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. Genty. Not much happening there, just a short gain.
Brought down at the 23-yard line. 1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
From the 23, here's 2nd and 9. That's out quickly to Pittman. And he's going to be taken down at the 37. A pickup of 14 on that one. Good for a Raider first down.
And that's a nice grab for his first catch of the game, Mike. And he's someone that the play caller has told us he wants to get him early touches, get him a feel for the game. A nice job there making that happen.
Here's a handoff to Genty. And he shows off those strong legs running through one tackle. Give him a gain of 8.
At the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
From the 46, here's 2nd down and a yard. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. His fullback releasing, and he's going to bring it in. He's going to be out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. 15-yard pickup there. First down, Vegas.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Moving outside the pocket, and he just does get that one away. He was being chased down, forced the awkward throw. And maybe he's fortunate that all it is an incompletion. We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He's got his receiver, and that's Jack Bech. And they'll move this ball way down into the red zone, inside the 20-yard line.
22 yards.
That pass play good for 22. Good for a Raider first down.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
The red zone now. He'll drop to throw. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he knew in the back of his head, Mike, he had to get rid of this ball a little sooner than he would have liked. And with that pressure getting there in a hurry, it just ends up being a wasted down.
2nd and 10.
Here we go. 70 Lions. 70 Lions. Let's go.
They'll look to throw yet again. Out of the backfield, it's Ashton Genty. And he's not going to be able to get away. Good defense on the perimeter. It'll be a loss of yardage.
We call them safeties because they're usually the last line of defense, but not here. On this play, he's up there at the line of scrimmage attacking the offense, and he takes him down for a negative play.
Throwing now on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. Trying to get it to his tight end, Brock Bowers. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. A 38-yard attempt.
Carlson's kick is good. And the Raiders will extend to a 10-0 lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
On the return is Achane. And he's down at the 23, and that's where offense will take over.
Yard line.
Hey, 21 team. Winning team. Ready.
Fake the handoff. Now, Tua. He'll get that into the hands of Tyreek Hill. Still on his feet. Tyreek Hill. And he's going to take this all the way to the house. 76 yards. Touchdown, Miami.
And this is what good offenses in the NFL do, Mike. It's the ability to bounce back, even if the onset of the game doesn't go exactly according to plan. Everybody wants to take their opening possession and go down there and come away with a touchdown. But it's not always going to be perfect. You turn it over on possession one. What are you going to do in response on possession two? Well, we just got our answer, and they took it down for 6.
On the return, it is Trey Tucker. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Off play action. He'll set up to throw. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up second down.
And 10.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
Back to the air again on second and 10. Flush to his right. And they will finally track him down. Great coverage downfield. Leads to a sack.
Well, as they face this possible 3 and out following that second down sack, now if you're the quarterback, you've got to be thinking, get the ball out of my hand, find a matchup I like downfield, and try to push this ball past the sticks and keep this drive alive.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Now they'll set up to throw. And a big strike for good yardage there, all the way up to midfield. A gain of 21 on that pass play. First down, Vegas.
These third down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on third down.
And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. A touchdown apiece here in the first quarter of play. It's the Raiders with the early lead. And we're back to South Florida after this. Quarter 2 begins. It is Raider football as they've got it with 1st and 10. Again, they target Pittman. He's got another catch. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. He'll get this out wide. Oh, nice open field tackle there. He could not get free. They're going to stop him for no gain.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way. Every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
On third down, they'll set up to throw. He's going to pick up the first down and more. And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10. It's a gain of 26, and it'll set up 1st and goal.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle. But they weren't able to do it before he gets to the line to gain, and he ends up picking up the first down anyway.
Ball resting on the 9. First down and goal. Here's Genty. And he is planted backfield. Defenders crashing through. Blow up that play behind the line.
A loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot. And now, I think it really limits what do you feel comfortable dialing up here on 2nd and goal.
One more time with Genty. And it'll be a gain here down to the 12-yard line.
And after putting together what's been a long and methodical drive, they suddenly find themselves on the verge of potentially stalling out. So this defense, they can get a stop here. That would feel like a pretty big win on a drive that's largely been dominated by the offense.
Throwing here on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Michael Pittman with that one. And it'll be 4th and goal coming up. On now, Daniel Carlson to try the field goal. Officially, a 29-yard attempt. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through and they get 3.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. On the return is Achan. A good return as he takes it across the...
At their own 31-yard line.
Ready.
A first carry here for Devon Achan. He's fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, but can't get there. Dropped for the loss of a yard.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12. At the
Tua.
29-yard line.
The outside, that's caught by Hill. And it'll be taken down after a gain of 9 and 3rd down. Coming up.
It's a gain of 10.
Just a really good play design that time, Mike, from the offensive coordinator. They match up one of the most explosive playmakers in the NFL with a hook curl defender, and he's just not able to match up with one of the best route runners in the league.
Let's go. Ready?
Third and 2. Tungo Bailoa. Oh, they try to go down the field with it, but it winds up incomplete. He was trying to give that one to Darren Waller. And now it's fourth down. Punt team comes out. Dolphins going to kick it away. Returnable from the 17. Oh, looks like he may have had a seam for a moment, but he's taken down after a solid return. Back to throw here to begin the drive. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up second down.
He just stays on his primary read just a little bit too long. I think if he gets that ball to his check down a little bit quicker, not only is the ball completed, but I think there's some room to run. So, again, certain quarterbacks are better than others. The ability to process and eliminate targets quickly to move on to the next, that's a skill that really just comes from experience.
And he's going to be out of bounds, just shy of midfield. Good work after the catch. They gain 19 yards and a first down. On the handoff, this is Genty. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. Give them 12 on that one. They are on the march. Another first down.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6.
2 minutes to go here till halftime. We'll come back to Miami after this. It is second and 6. They'll look to throw. To the left side, it is caught by Myers. And he'll be out of bounds, down at the 20. So they come to the line for first down and 10.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Run right up the gut with Genty. And he'll take this one in. Ashton Genty. Touchdown, Raiders. So 2 touchdowns for him in this one. Numbers 12 and 13 on the year. Carlson's kick is good. And the Raiders add on one more as they extend their second quarter lead. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. This one is going to sail through the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
G, 21G. All right, come on. Ready?
Chewing that on first down. He's going to air this one out, looking for Hill. And he will go all the way. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown, Miami. That is second touchdown of the afternoon. Sanders here for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Dolphins are back within 6.
Raiders 20, Dolphins 14. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
After After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Bowers, the man in motion. On the ground, it's Genty to start the drive. And he'll wind his way to about the 38-yard line. Chop Robinson, the man to bring him down.
It's a pickup of 3.
Second down, they need 7.
And 7.
He'll drop to throw. And this is too far out in front. That one's incomplete. He was looking for Jack Best that time. And it's going to be third down.
He's going to wish he had that one back. I think his receiver got behind the defense, Mike, and had a lot of room to run, but he just put a little too much on it, and they're not able to connect.
On third down, they'll throw from the gun. Down the field, but it falls incomplete.
Intended for Jack.
Little miscommunication there. Now brings up third down. It just doesn't appear that the quarterback and the wide receiver were on the same page on that last pass.
And he got all of this one. Headed for the sideline. And this is going to work out for him. Out of bounds, and they'll mark it inside the 10. Now a first down throw for Tua. Now a screen set up for H.N. And he's going backwards here. They're going to take him down back at the 5.
It's a loss of 2.
Now the Dolphins going to use the first of their timeouts.
At the
Clock
5-yard
stops with
line.
a little under a minute to go in this second quarter. Last play went the wrong way. It sets up second and long. It's second down and 12. From the gun, here's Tua. That's complete. It's Jalen Waddle. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 20.
It's a gain of 14.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10.
First down.
Out of the gun, Tungo Vailoa. He's going to take a shot. Sends it down the middle. Big gain, and that changes the complexion of this drive all the way down to the 40-yard line.
First down.
It's a huge play in a tight ball game. 41 yards. They'll come up first and 10 at the 40.
Ready. Long. Out.
To the air again, Tungo Vailoa. Flush to his right.
Well, that scramble is ultimately going to end up short of the first down, Mike, but it's going to help quite a bit. That's a great job by the quarterback. Just taking what the defense gives you, get downfield, pick up good yardage.
That's caught on the right side by Waddle. They hook up again. Second time on this drive. And this one's good for 18 yards and a first down.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late.
And he's in. What a drive. Alec Ingold. Touchdown, Dolphins. That is first touchdown this year. Now Sanders on for the extra point. It's up and good. And the Dolphins will go up by a point here in the second quarter.
Raiders 20. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Very little time remaining in this first half as this kick is away. On the return is Dylan Lowby. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start.
At their own 28-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got it downfield. Myers the connection. Back to the sideline and intercepted. And he will be out of bounds. No time left on the clock. And that is the final action here in this first half. Certainly a tightly contested first half, and you'd expect more of that here in the second half. A one-point game as quarter three begins. And he'll be out of bounds on the return, and the drive will begin there.
At their own 31-yard line.
On the ground to start the drive, it's Achane.
Achane, the ball carrier.
That one never got started. Defensive pressure too much, and they drop him in the backfield.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Once again, it's Achane. And this a slight improvement over the previous play. He's not going to lose yardage, but he's not gaining any either. It's third down.
There on the tackle. No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and 13.
A shotgun snap for Tua. He gets it to the rangy tight end, Waller. And he is out of bounds, but not until he's inside the 40-yard line.
First and 10 at the 36-yard
That's well done as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. First and 10 now from the 36. Here's Tagovailoa. This one pulled in by Westbrook-Ikhine. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 4.
The 30-yard line.
Ready. Get on.
Tua gonna give it to Achane. With good blocking leading the way. He's got the first down inside the 25.
That's good for the Dolphins. First down.
To throw is Tua. He's got it inside the 5. And he'll take it on in. Darren Waller. Touchdown, Miami. His 4th TD grab of the season. That is yet another touchdown pass. What a game he is having, throwing his 4th touchdown score of the game.
It's one thing, Mike, to throw 4 touchdowns, but it's really the ease in which he's carved this defense up that has stood out the most. The defense has had no answers for this passing game, and he has just completely had his way with this group.
After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. Oh, the struggles continue. Another interception. Picked off by Mika Fitzpatrick.
Intercepted. The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Ready, shot? 32 Stinger. Ready, D, with it. Hey. Yeah.
On 1st and 10, here's Tua. That one out wide to A-Check. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
It's a gain of 18.
18 yards on the pickup there. 1st down, Miami.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
On the carry, it's Achane. Finding space at the 15. And he's into the end zone. Javon Achane. Touchdown, Dolphins. Sanders here for the extra point. His kick is good. And the Dolphins will extend this 3rd quarter lead.
Raiders 20. Jason Sanders.
After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away. Bobby now to return it. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. Bowers the man in motion. They'll run the toss to Genty. He'll push forward for about a yard. Play is made on defense by Jordan Brooks.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Open man downfield. It's Pittman. That changes a lot. He's out of bounds all the way down at the 20-yard line. A big play and a much-needed one as well. 56 yards.
And the Raider 1st down.
An unbalanced look to the left here on 1st down. Now they'll set up to throw. Short throw that's pulled in by Mayer. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
They'll run it straight ahead now with Genty. And he'll take this down to the 6. That's good enough for 1st down. 1st and goal.
I think this 2nd down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
In motion, that's the tight end, Mayer. Here's a run. And And he's going to be taken down. Not so easy this time. They drop him back behind the line. It's second down.
It's a loss of 1.
The key to great defensive line play is the get-off. When that ball moves, how fast can you get off the ball and get into the backfield? That's exactly what we saw here. Quick read, react, get off the block, take him down for a loss.
Here comes Lauby. And he's going to lose yardage here, taken down back at the 8.
This defense doing a great job here facing this goal-to-go situation, especially on that last play. 2 stops down, and now the pressure really ramps up for this offense as they face 3rd and goal.
Last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. On the move left. That's going to be broken up in the end zone. Incomplete. There was no space to fit that one in. And now here comes 4th and goal. On now, Daniel Carlson to try the field goal. 3 for 3 in the game, as this one is also good. And the Raiders are able to put up 3 and cut into the lead.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in 1st and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
Get across the 20, mark him at the 22-yard line. On first down, Tagovailoa. He's got his man on the in route. Yes, taken in over the middle. It's a gain of 10. That's enough for a quick first down. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Well run with Achane. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all.
Well, this play, Mike, was clearly about the job of this defensive line. Great job holding their ground, forcing these blockers to be stood up. Nowhere to go for this running back, and they hold him to no gain.
So, 3 quarters have come and gone. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Now the Raiders going to use the first of their timeouts, and they'll get together prior to this 2nd down play. Here's Tagovailoa. This one caught by Waller. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. That's good for 27 and a first down.
Having a tight end that can contribute in the passing game, Mike, I mean, it just seems like it's become more and more common throughout the entire league. And not only do you have to be reliable, but you have to be athletic enough after the catch to take advantage of some of these targets. So it's exactly what he does here, and you can tell why he's such a big part of this offense.
And a good job following his blockers, a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 34-yard line.
Get set. Corner long. Ready, 2. Turbo 1 high.
Back to throw is Tua. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down.
44. Ready. Ready, 2. 2. Hey, we're gonna do some center.
Tua gonna throw. He'll take a shot here. Back to the end zone. That is caught. What a throw. Touchdown, Miami. Greg, that's one of those scores where it's not completely over, but so, take away the 6 points, and it's ruled an incomplete pass. Sanders' kick is good. And the Dolphins will add to their lead here in the fourth quarter.
So it's not exactly what you're looking for when you set out on a drive, but at the same time, you don't want to come away empty-handed either. So in this case, they'll take those 3 points.
And that one is through the back of the end zone. It is a touchback. From the 35, it's 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. They try to set up the screen, but this one doomed from the start. It's incomplete.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. At sometimes, he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. The question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
Throw here down the field. Will fall. Incomplete.
Can't exactly put my finger on it, but it just seems like this entire game, like this passing game and this quarterback specifically, they've just been off. And whether it's missing these big shots downfield like he did there or just simple underneath layups, there's just something about him today that doesn't look right.
And for a 3rd time today, he's intercepted. Picked off by Mika Fitzpatrick.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Get set. Out.
Starting to drive on the ground, and here comes a reverse. He's able to get away from one man, but the reinforcements were there fast. He's taken down for a loss on the play. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long.
They're right here. Go with him. All right, go ahead. Go. Scat.
Here's 2. Oh, that may be the break they needed. That one's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Fuller.
So you do a great job all game long. You build up a lead here late in the 4th quarter, but now you get sloppy. This turnover all of a sudden brings a renewed sense of energy to your opponent, who a minute ago thought this game was over, and now they got a little life.
He'll look to throw. Open man downfield. He's got his tight end, Bowers. That one good for 29.
So every team practices this on both sides of the ball. They call it sudden change. So in this case, the offense takes the field quickly following the defensive takeaway, and now you want to get off to a fast start, generate a quick play, and spark your possession, and it's exactly what they're able to do here, picking up that 1st down.
Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete.
And when you look down the field, Mike, there's just really nobody creating any real separation, and instead he tries to give one of his guys a 50-50 contested catch opportunity, but with the coverage as tight as it was, it just falls incomplete.
Forced out left. All the way across the field to the left, and somehow it's complete. 6 catches for him in the ball game now, and this one's good for a 1st down.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Run out of the gun for Genti. And that play took a little long to develop. They stop it for no gain at the 4.
And up until this point, this is not something that we've seen a lot of. His running backs had a really nice day, so in this case, this rep goes to the defense.
Line of scrimmage remains the 4-yard line. It's 2nd and goal. They'll go with him again. And nothing developed there. He'll get back to the 5, and that's all.
It makes sense on 2nd and goal, Mike, to keep this ball on the ground. You always have 3rd down again to finally punch it in. But now after the defense forces you backwards, I think you have to consider putting this one in the air here on 3rd and goal.
This one caught at the 4. And he's got another one. Ashton Genti. Touchdown, Vegas. That touchdown number 3 for him in the game. And number 14 for the year. So they get the touchdown, and now it is a 9-point game. Greg, you can go for 1 and make it a 1-possession game. Or some people think about going for 2 here. What would you do?
I think I'm going for 2, Mike. Listen, the way you have to look at it is I need a 2-point conversion at some point. But I want to know now, am I down truly 2 scores, or am I able to get it down to 7 and truly make it a 1 score? So I'm going for 2 now, and I want to know what the rest of this game looks like. How many possessions do I need?
On the return is Achan. They'll get this up past the 20. That's where they'll set up shop.
At their own 21-yard line.
This drive starts at the 21. It's 1st and 10.
They're right here.
From the gun, here's Tua. Oh, they got the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Darian Porter.
And it's just the last thing you can afford to do, especially in this situation. Like, there's just no need to force the ball. You're playing with a lead. It's late in the game, and I know he's got a lot of confidence in his arm, and he thinks he can get away with it, but that decision, it proves to be costly.
Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense, because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
A gain there of 10 yards. Good for a Raider 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
That's out quickly to Pittman. And he will score! Michael Pittman. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Greg, how often do we say it's a 1-possession game, but that's a 2-part story? Part 1 taken care of right there with the touchdown.
All right, Mike, so they go down and they get the all-important touchdown. But only half the time is this truly a 1-score game. They need this 2-point conversion here to tie it up.
And now the Raiders faced with an important 2-point conversion attempt.
The Raiders will line up for the
They'll look to throw. He'll swing that out wide. And he will get into the end zone for 2. And this game is tied.
Mike, I think all of us can remember exactly where we were during a certain Super Bowl where throwing the ball this close to the goal line ended up being a disaster. But unlike that time, they ran this pass play to perfection, and the result, 2 points.
And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line.
their own 28-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10.
All right, come on.
They'll start on the ground. It's Achan. Not much there. Maybe a yard.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
2 minutes to play in regulation. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. Here's second down. They'll drop to throw. Moving to his left. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Pressure certainly impacted the quarterback there. Couldn't get his arm all the way through. And it's going to bring up a third down.
The game is there for the taking. They control their own destiny, but this brings up a really big third down here. But remember, they don't have to force it and push the ball past the sticks. Even if they come up short, they still have fourth down in their back pocket to try to extend this drive and see if they can pull out the win here late.
They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
When this offense took the field, in their mind, Mike, they want to end this game in regulation. You do not want to play for overtime. And now as this fourth down comes up, I think this coach has a decision to make. Do you remain aggressive and keep the offense on the field and try to end it here? Or do you make the safe play and punt the ball away and settle for overtime?
And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. That one down the field, but they cannot connect. And it's incomplete.
Great job there defensively, separating the man from the ball. And this is the moments of the game where you need your best players to step up. And this guy's showing what he's capable of doing in the game's critical moment.
In motion comes Pittman. Back to the air once more on second down. I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a third down. He'll drop to throw. Gets that one complete to his tight end Bowers. They get the conversion on third down. It was a gain of 27. Plenty of time, plus 2 timeouts at their disposal. It's 1st and 10. He'll run. And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down. Now the Dolphins going to use the first of their timeouts. The stoppage comes with just over a minute to play in this one. Second down, 8 for the first down. Laying out, and he made the catch. What a play. They hook up again. Second time on this drive. And this one's good for 18 yards and a first down.
A gain of 18 on the play. First down, Las Vegas.
Bowers, the man in motion. They'll run here. And he's taken down, and now they can take this all the way down, call the timeout, and set up the game-winning field goal try.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
Now timeout Vegas. That is their second. And they'll get together prior to the second down play. So big kick coming now for Daniel Carlson. This to win the game. Now Miami going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll get together prior to the second down play. So big kick coming now for Daniel Carlson. This one he's got to have. This kick is good. And it's celebration time. A walk-off victory on the game's final play. So this one, a win for the visiting Raiders. They get themselves into field goal range for one final shot. Kicker delivers. They avoid overtime and come away with a 3-point victory. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.